Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm still half asleep. It's super early right now, but the eclipse is tonight, and it never fails, right? I couldn't get a good sleep, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a reading for the eclipse, right? But I've been channeling tons of things lately. I even was able to channel something for somebody, and they said I could share it, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail because it's not my story, it's somebody else's. But I think maybe others could relate to it, right? Like a time of letting go of things, right? Because there was this entity that was there, it was present. And as we were trying to understand, like, is this entity good or bad? Uh, it didn't have the best intentions. Wow, my throat. And that's exactly what I thought. I thought its presence yesterday when I saw it. And it was presenting itself like that's why it was a little confusing because it was presenting itself like it was good, but that was the thing is like so now is a great time for that, right? Like going forward, like if anyone at in a time of need, maybe you felt alone in the world or this and that, and something stepped, while you were in the shadow, something came up to you and was like, "Hey, I'm here for you." You know what I mean? And I couldn't even tell. This thing looked like I just couldn't tell because, obviously it didn't look human, and it had this kind of like stoic look. So, I've seen angels that look like that as well. So, not exactly like this thing, but since it was in the shadows, I couldn't see it 100%. So that's where what made it like able to camouflage itself, you know. So that's kind of what was going on, right? Something like that. So, you know, I think in our time of need, we can, and this wasn't a new thing, right? It was something like from someone's childhood, right? So, like, it could be something you've been carrying for a long time, and that could be, but obviously, so I presented this person with now knowing this. You can choose to release yourself of this situation, right? And once, I said that, that's when the entity made itself more known, right? That, that, right? So that's about all I'll say about that situation. With me, I know I saw someone came to me in the dream state that, in the spirit world dream state, however that, um, was telling me that, they were from the same star people as me, right? And that was very vivid, very so I felt like, but I think, in this dream, that's why they kind of told me something specific. It was something specific that I would know how to recognize them. So when they manifest in this reality, it was like I would know who they are because of what they told me in this vision, right? Like, so they were speaking, it didn't feel like it was a premonition or nothing. It was like we connected in the higher plane, so I would know when I meet them in this reality, right? Um, so that, oh, and out of all things too, right? We were talking about, I don't want to uh talk too much about it because I don't know when they're releasing the video, right? But it was a few of us, that we've connected and all this stuff. So, there's gonna be a video that they're gonna upload, I think, to the Ions platform, right? So that'll be coming out. And it was interesting, right? Because we came together, right? People from around, I think in this case, we were all from the US, I want to say. So, but still we were all in different places. So it was funny that coming together and then something was bringing me together with someone from my star family in my dream, right? That was like really random. And then I mean, I've been having, oh, another thing that's been happening, my connection with the animals has gone crazy. Like I saw a vision of a bear and a wolf playing together. And they were young, right? They were young. And I was like, oh, maybe that's like my spirit animals right now. Maybe they're telling me to connect to the wolf and the bear, right? I've been very close to them. Um, what do you call it? And so I was like, that must be it. And then a couple weeks later, someone sent me this thing, and I'm like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Cause I saw this while I was awake. I just saw the vision of like, kind of like a young, uh, like they showed them to me like that young, a bear and a wolf together. And I was like, okay, well, that's doesn't seem like, but that's cool. I like it, right? In the spirit world, they're united. And I guess they're both helping me, right? That's kind of how I took it. And then lo and behold, someone sends me like, oh, something really rare has happened. Whoever, like on the little article thing, it's like that a Finnish. So I'm guessing it was in Finland, right? It said that a Finnish photographer took a photo of this bear and this young bear and young wolf hunting together. Every day or something they would spend so many hours together, and it was just like, probably that, like they say, like something. Maybe the bear lost its mom, and maybe the wolf had got disconnected from its tribe, whether it was thrown out or just since it was young, maybe it got lost or something. I don't know what, but it was like there they were together, right? And I was like, dude, like, so it was like because this has happened a lot before, right? With the animals, but the fact that somehow we connected in the ethers, um and they're all the way in, well, I mean, nothing matters, and distance, time doesn't matter at all. It's especially when you connect like that, right? In the higher realms or everything, it's non-existent. And before that, even, I had seen a wolf, and I seen it eating and everything, and I was like, that was strange. Like, what's up with the wolf, right? Um, and then after, like, I think I don't know how, like, pretty that was a lot sooner. Then after that, someone sends me a message that, oh, the wolves are back in California. Like I don't know how long it had been since wolves had been in California, but I guess a wolf was in California now, or wolves, I forgot. But I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me, right? So I don't know if they're speaking to me telepathically or I'm just connecting with the animals, no matter where they are, right? Because I don't know, I could say, well, yeah, I guess it could be both, right? Um, because either it was a premonition that's like someone was gonna send me that, or it was me connecting with the animals, and then the confirmation was someone sending me um about the animals, right? But I think it's just the connection with the animals has been kind of through. I mean, I've always had it with like that, but I think like there was this rhinoceros that had, I think it was like the last rhinoceros of its kind or something. Like I don't know if it was with the white rhinoceros, but that day that it died, it came to visit me in the spirit world. And it was really like, wow, it was like we were next to like the tree of life and this and that. And it was there with its mate. I think it was like the two, because I don't know if there were like two left and they both died at the same time or one died. So then that's the last because they're not gonna reproduce, or it was the last one, right? But it came to me in the spirit world. Then when I woke up, I saw the article that, because I looked it up. Oh, I never see rhinoceros, so I was like, what's the meaning of like the spiritual meaning of a rhinoceros? But it said, the article that popped up was like, oh, it just passed away. Um, like, and I was like, whoa, wow, it came to say goodbye as it was leaving into the, but not, obviously it's not, but I think it was like it was going somewhere else, wherever it was going. because it looked very like that, right? Like obviously some spirits you don't feel like they're just leaving, but this one felt like it was very like the word epic, right? It looked so like movie like, right? Being by this tree of life and just amazing, right? I know if I'm talking slow, it's because, like I said, I just, you know, it's really early and, I couldn't sleep. So I'm going to do, wow, out of all things. I mean, I'm sure I had left it like this, but I'm over here talking about the rhinoceros and like the tree of life. And I opened this deck and this is what's on top, right? You know, wow, that's amazing. So I don't remember, but I want to use this one because this is oh, cause last night, right, when I kept seeing like a fairy, right? Like this lady fairy, woman fairy. I don't know what's the proper way of calling her, but I seen her like as I was trying to lay down to go to sleep, and oh man, excuse me. Um, she was there, right? Yeah, that just came out. Like, wow, my body's like, but I was trying to sleep. I couldn't even freaking sleep. So, but let me see. I'm gonna do you know, let me shuffle these cards real quick. I'll just do this and then I'll go. So I think, yeah, I don't know if anyone's relating to what I'm talking about, you know. So what do you call it? Yeah, the animal stuff. Oh wow. Oh again, wow, wow. I like these two. Look at the ancient oak. That's literally what they use for the like the cover of this thing. The ancient oak strength and the phoenix transmutation. So remember I was talking about that, like the how even for that person I did kind of the reading, it was like about letting go of the one transmuting. See, it's like a choice. See, like I said, something stepped in when they needed that, right? And this has been coming up for me this lately. And that's funny, even like the little red feathers at the end. Well, I made the last video I made about the red tail hawk feather that I was given. So that's amazing that, right? Like the fire. And then right now, like, when I made that video, the one it was like we were surrounded by fires in California. Um, what do you call it in the ancient oaks? So strength and transmutation. So obviously, right, like have strength as you're going through that transmutation, like, you know. Oh, and this is the 2 and 29. So I don't know if that means anything for anybody. Yeah, this is a beautiful card. There's something there I can't see though. My eyes are like still blurry right now. What is that? Is that like a butterfly or fairy? It almost looks fairy like. That's why I was like, I like that, like the cosmos and everything, like the little circles, right? That's crazy. Oh wow. I just remembered a long time ago, after my brother had already passed, I had a vision of this. And it was like, wow, I just remembered, that's what I was dreaming when I woke up a while ago. I was dreaming that, I guess I didn't, I had forgotten the important part of the dream because at the end, like it turned into something like weird, like a kind of freaky dream, right? So I won't go into details about that, but uh it was like I had gone to visit someone that was sick in the hospital, and some lady had said like bad straight out, right? Like the nurse was like if there was bad news, and then at the end, like someone came and they were like, "Oh, I know so and so said this, but I have some good news." And that it was like something like that, right? So hey, maybe they knew I was gonna make this, right? So maybe that's for somebody out there, right? Maybe you had news that, or maybe you're waiting for news, some hospital stuff, and that's to say like, everything's gonna be okay, right? Because that's kind of what it was. It was very, I don't know, it was kind of like, I saw very detailed. It looked kind of scary, right? Like the situation, right? Like at the hospital and everything. So Even my shoulders feel really heavy as I'm saying that right now. Like, oh, so I don't know, you know, maybe it was meant for somebody. Because by the end of it all, um, everything was good, but it was like something, I don't know why that nurse lady was being like that, right? That was weird. And then after everything was okay, she was just wanted to be like, I don't know, maybe she was having a bad day or something. I don't even know. Um, but yeah, a long time ago after my brother passed away, I arrived at this place and it was like this medicine man, right? But it looked like we were in the Amazon, but the whole ceiling was covered with trees, right? I arrived at this place. You couldn't even look up. It was all covered in trees. And this like medicine man, he greets me as I get there. And he's like, welcome home. I don't know if he spoke in a native tongue and I just understood. And then so I walk with him and I enter a tree house like this, but it wasn't all with the sky because all you could see was like, it was just really, and then inside, I think my brother was even inside, right? But it was huge inside. It was like a big old, like a huge house, right? All the space in the world. But I entered a tree house like this. So that's crazy. This card. Okay. And then the Phoenix. Oh, there's like a mountain in the back. I like that. Makes me want to go for a hike. I haven't been hiking in a long time. Up my mountain, right? I don't know. I should pull one more from this day. Probably not. I felt like no, like that's it. Do the spirit animal because you guys already know. I don't even know if I ever go one video without talking about the spirit animals. Man, I know I'm talking all slow, but yeah, I'm just like, oh, so if I didn't say it, this is like for the eclipse, right? I think I did say it, right? But this is for the eclipse. Let me shuffle this again because I just want to make sure I shuffle. I felt like I didn't shuffle it all great. Oh man, it's just hitting me now. But well, maybe it's because I'm doing this, right? Because I was good right now. All right, so what? Oh, that flipper. Oh, I love it. Cause that's my totem, the sag spirit. Take the lead. So obviously, right, if anyone's resonating with that, feeling stuck or something, it's telling you to go ahead and take that lead. 58. I don't know if that means something or something. Take the lead. Sag spirit. Sag spirit. Mm. That's like the actors unit SAG, but I said, yeah, it's stag spirit. So that's that. I don't know. I should pull one more from here. Okay, I heard yes. Oh, bam. Okay. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. The lion, right? The lion came to me in a dream too. So that's uh that's that's been around too. The lion. So the lion. Look at that thing. I don't think I really ever noticed that the patterns on that. I don't know if it's the world or what behind. And even on the face, it's like the tribal markings. Right? Almost looks like there's another. It's crazy. It almost looks like the lion is wearing like a duck's mask on top, but it's blended in. Or like it has a connection with different. I don't know. I see like different faces, like an otter, a duck, a monkey kind of thing. I don't know. They did that on purpose. It's like all these different animals inside the beard or the mane of the lion that I'm seeing. So maybe it's like that, like all the spirits coming together, right? Uh be generous of spirit. So that's self-explanatory, right? So as you stand in your strength, see strength that came out in the other with the other deck. So even though you stand in your strength doesn't mean you have to be, a-hole or nothing, right? It's like you can still be generous of spirit in your strength. And the card is 37, so I don't know if that means anything for anybody, right? Okay. I feel like they told me to pull one more of these animal ones. Ah, right away. Ah, ha, ha. I just made a video about this. Okay. The parrot. Watch your words. Uh-oh. So I don't know what that. I mean, it could mean a lot of things, right? It could mean, be nice, basically. Maybe that goes with that one, right? Be generous of spirit. Watch your words. Or, it could be like it's a number 45, which adds up to nine, which but it's like I've learned the very hard lesson of but it doesn't matter, like I'm overly trusting, right? And I don't care because I've said it before and obviously, right? And so, I guess I have to learn to like I don't mind doing this, right? I feel always like when I do this, I'm being guided that they're not gonna let me say anything that's not supposed to be said, right? Um, and there's been very few times when I was led to like, nah, I didn't need to talk about that. Very, very few times, right? Most things are like, it's fine. But well, I guess I shouldn't make this too personal, right? Like this isn't about me, right? This is so someone out there, right? Whether maybe you need to watch what you say and how you say it, or just oh, I guess I was trying to give an example for me, like, but yeah, sometimes just well, since that came to me, right? Like then I'll just say it like that, being unbiased. Just sometimes maybe you're not in the best company that you think that you are in, right? And it's not your fault. It's not no fault of your own. You don't know, like, it's just warning you, Hey, it could be at work, right? Maybe you're around coworkers and you're like, oh, we're BFFs, and you're just over there talking about like stuff, and then they seize an opportunity. Wow, they want to, whatever. They're like frenemies, right? That kind of stuff. So just, but this is more, right? It's nothing bad about you, right? It's just saying like, the people are the way they are, right? Like it's not a good thing for sure, but you got to be careful. So maybe it's a time that you don't need to, or that, right? You know how they say if you have plans and you tell people what your plans are and then they wish you bad, right? Start sending you negative energy just because they're haters or whatever, right? So watch your words, the parrot. I love parrots though. So, you know, I don't 100% resonate with what that person's saying right there. Or maybe that, right? I shouldn't have even looked at it in that aspect. But if that's what I said already, that's what I said. But for me, I love the parrot 100%. I just posted a video of a parrot, right? So to me, that was just cool that that came out of all the animals because I love the parrot, right? Parrots are amazing, and I like that about them that you can't shut them up to save your life. Like, oh, and that just happened, right? So this crazy thing happened when here I am, right the day that before we did that video, and I shared it in the video with the other people about how the parrots, I had never heard them use that tone of voice, and they were looking for each other, right? It was crazy. It was almost like picture like a helicopter flying with a low light, not that super bright one when they're looking for somebody, but it was almost like a low light, like their voice was like almost scanning, like if they don't want to alert maybe the hawks that try to eat them or something, but they were just like using this weird sound, and the other one like here I am, and the boom, they until they met each other and they did their circles and went, and other ones were. It was weird that day. It was like everyone was looking for each other, right? So it's crazy. Maybe in this time, right? That was, I didn't even need to see it with the cards or nothing. They were already showing me like this is a time to start finding those communities or or finding that, right? And that was crazy that I had even before that experience with the parrots. that happened, in this reality. Someone coming to me and telling, "Oh, I'm from your star family or whatever," that kind of thing. So maybe it's a time to connect. If you've been going about it alone, maybe it's time, to connect with similar similar minds or similar hearts and minds better, even better, right? Time. That's what it feels like, very time, like it's time. Like no more procrastination. That's kind of what I feel like that. It's time, right? So if anybody, like I've met people along the way, right? I've met people that were very tapped in, very connected, but I don't know, they're not interested in like that, right? They weren't ever interested in really, well, I can't really say ever, right? But it's almost like it looks like from what I see, like people were interested in just, they wanted to live their life, right? Well, even that, right? Like, let's say, for example, I knew like spiritual people. I'd invite them, like, oh, you want to go to a ceremony or this and that, and it was always like an excuse or different things, right? Like, but not that, if you go one time, it's not like you have to. Like me, when people would invite me to church or whatever, I went, but I knew I wasn't gonna like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. This is gonna be my new tribe or something, right? Like sometimes, like, all right, why not? Like if you're inviting me, maybe there's a reason for me to go, right? There's something, because nothing is without a lesson, really. So, it'd be like that. Like, okay, I'll go. And so yeah, sometimes I'd see people like that, they're very tapped in, but it's just like, nah, I don't think they were really interested in, you know, like even their higher self will come to me, right? Like their higher self will come to me. Almost like their higher self was trying to tell me like, hey, like help give me a nudge kind of thing, right? But I know better than to interfere because it's not my like choice, right? It's their choice. So, I would just say like what I saw or something, or say something, and then left it with the person, right? But it feels very like that. Like this will be a time. It's all in cycles. Like if you miss this, whoa, don't even think I was like trying to the flayed one, Nuestro Señor, el desolado. I know the story of it was like this story is important because right, like I don't know, I'm not even gonna try to read it from the book because I don't got my glasses and right now my eyes won't be able to see. But this story is very interesting because I've never said because like that. What? Because that's so weird. Because um, he sacrificed himself, right? Chichpe Totek. He sacrificed himself. Watch, I bet you there'll be a story here online. So let me read. So it was about sacrificing, right? So it was a huge, like no one else had the courage to do it, right? Watch, let me read real quick. Our Lord, the Flayed One, was a life, death, rebirth deity. Okay, God of agriculture, vegetation, the east, spring, goldsmith, silversmith, liberation, deadly warfare, the seasons, and the earth. The female equivalent of Chichpet Totec was the goddess Chilonen. I think she's in here too, but she's not the one that came out. So, like the agriculture deity. Um, Let me see. Where is it about? Originally, the name Pearson. Okay, Chichpet Totec emerging from rotting, flayed skin after 20 days symbolize rebirth and the renewal of the seasons, the casting off of the old and growth of new vegetation. New vegetation was represented by putting on the new skin of a flayed captive because it symbolized the vegetation the earth put. All right, so that was interesting. But watch. But that's not what it's about. It's about Um, watch. Let me see. How come it doesn't say it here? I guess it's not good with the actual like obscure da da da. Let me see. Sí, sacrifice. Chichpe, Shishpe, Totec connected agricultural renewal with warfare. He flayed himself to give food to humanity. So there it is. So Chichpe, Totec, I don't know if I'm saying it. I'm probably slaughtering the name. He flayed himself to give food to humanity, symbolic of the way maize seeds lose their outer layer before germination and of snakes shedding their skin. He is often depicted as being red beneath the flayed skin he wears, likely referencing his own flayed nature. Yeah. I don't know if yeah, man, I wish I could read it from the book what they wrote cuz I know they wrote something good. Like I've read it before. I know I've pulled the card before. That's why I know. Um but even that, right? Uh again, Totec was one of the major deities in the ancient Aztec pantheon who could easily strike fear and overwhelming dread in anyone who worshipped him. His name roughly translates to Our Lord the Flayed One. In Nahuatl, he in Nahuatl, and he encompassed a seemingly bizarre set of defects, I think it said. He was seen as both a god of spring agriculture and healing, as well as a god of disease, famine, and sacrifice and death. But mostly, the most notable thing about Chichpet Totec is his appearance in the mythology that of a flayed skinned man adorned in robes made from the skins of his human sacrifices. Hence his nickname, the Flayed One. So yeah, but yeah, so but again, like it says, he sacrificed himself for humanity. So I know there was a huge sacrifice, right? That was part of his thing. So but I think that, right, a cycle of death and rebirth. Obviously, the Phoenix came out, so um, and even that, I don't know. I never noticed that the old skin is peeling, right, and he's already been underneath. See, his new skin is coming out. Wow. Or he's wearing. Oh, okay, he's wearing that as a trophy. It's like it makes me think of that. Like, don't be ashamed of everything you went through, all the sacrifice, right, to emerge this warrior. Like it said, he's related to warfare. He looks strong, right? And the thing came out about strength, but and Jake almost has a similar thing like the lion, right? Because although he stands for what he stands, obviously he's generous of spirit because there's that little thing that was like in the cosmos on the oak, the little swirling symbol, right? Almost looks like a six. So yeah, maybe this is resonating with someone, right? Um, don't be ashamed of that. The flayed skin. My heart's opening up right now for some reason. It feels very like heart chakra-ish, you know? So I'll leave it with that, I think. I don't know if that has to do with the generosity or what, but my heart like felt good, like strong, but I don't know if it was like full of love. It had that feeling. I felt that before where it's almost like very open, right? It felt very open right now. Like like winds hitting it directly, like this. I felt this very like, I even kind of woke up. See, I was all half asleep and now I feel like awake, like I felt it. Like I guess, the heart, the whether heart chakra or the heart energy just like did what it did. So I don't know. I'll end it with that. Again, this is for like I intended this reading for like the eclipse tonight. So yeah, hopefully that made sense, right? I feel awake now. That's really weird. I'll take it though, because I was like so out of it. And then instantly with that, I just felt awake. So I'll end it with that. Thank you all for listening. I don't know if this is gonna be an episode of the podcast or just like an eclipse kind of update thing, but if so, thanks for watching. I don't even know what episode it would be anyway. So okay. Hope you guys are all well. Make sure to take time. You know, it's a Pisces. It's in the sign of Pisces, right? This full moon. So obviously very emotional time for me. It maybe it was because leading up to it, right? I wrote this song called Loyalty that I talked about in the other video. I purged out some emotions with that. So I haven't been as emotional right now leading up to the eclipse because I kind of purged my emotions with that. Um, whatever was there, like, I'm a very forgiving person of things, right? Like, and sometimes I think you do need a purge, right? Because sometimes you don't realize that, oh, people did do things that hurt you, right? Or things like that. Like to me, I think I was just kind of really good at like, whatever. Because of my understanding of life from a higher perspective, it's almost like, well, I try to see the reasons that happen rather than feeling out the emotions of them of because even in the song I brought something up from like 5 years ago, right? So it was like I guess maybe I needed to purge something that actually was something hurtful, right? Um, you know, because of that, right? Because of being able to see things from a higher perspective, I forget to live out this human, uh, the human feelings, right? Sometimes on that level of like, wow, something someone does is pretty like messed up, right? Like sometimes things are messed up. So, I was able to purge that in this song. So that's where the emotions kind of went away already. And so lately, leading up to this eclipse, I've been able to have a clearer mind when it comes to like the spiritual stuff, right? Because I already went through like, but just to say that it's a Pisces full, so Pisces is obviously like emotions, 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 right? Pisces, a lot of emotions, right? I've dealt with Pisces my whole life, so I know Pisces. So I'll end it with that. Okay. Have a good eclipse, full moon, all that. Don't be too hard on yourself, right? Just feel it out, let it flow. Pisces is water, right? So just let it flow. Don't be like the Pisces two fish in opposite directions, right? Like unless you think about it, like if they're going in a circle together, right? Just let it flow. So I'll just end it with that. Peace.
Life may move fast, or it may move slow. I met a silly man who said he make it slow. We look up out towards space, or even at the sky. One day pass away, but never look inside. Breathe in, breathe out. Life is a maze, but we'll figure this out. I mean, human beings, I ain't got no doubt.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes you just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You just feeling it. And I wanna feel this way forever.